Alright, what's up guys? Coming to you from the RV today. So a good while back, before we left out to go to Alaska, I did a video on installing the solar powered Camco refrigerator fan. Mounts back on the back side of the refrigerator, and it actually helps that heat dissipation on the back to improve the cooling in the refrigerator. Now, the main reason that we did that is we noticed that the summer before, when we had taken the RV out, that we had trouble with it maintaining temperature for us. During the day when the sun was shining on the side of the RV, we'd have to bump that temperature setting up almost as far as it would go in order to keep stuff in the freezer frozen and keep the refrigerator cold. If we didn't turn it down at night, we would get a flip. The stuff in the freezer would be frozen solid, as well as stuff in the refrigerator would start to freeze. That was a little bit frustrating because if we forgot to flip it one way or the other, it just created a problem. So we were hoping to eliminate that issue. The good news is it made a big difference. Installing that fan before we left out to go to Alaska in March, which we spent about 7 months straight in our RV. And we left out in March, so it was cool. We set it on 1, and it did great. During the summer while we were in Alaska, we did see temperatures hit 92 and 94 degrees while we were up there. It was unseasonably warm, sitting in the broad sunlight. That's when we would have probably noticed that we had a major problem with trying to keep the refrigerator regulated. Thankfully, the fan did its job. The only time it runs is when sunlight is shining on it, and that's when the refrigerator needs its help. When sun shines on that side, it powers the little 12-volt fan, and in that video that I'm going to link up here for you where we did the install, I put a switch in it. The switch really didn't make any difference for us because we never used the actual switch, but what we did utilize was the little red LED that was on that switch to let us know the fan was running and it was getting sunlight. The big thing that was consistent is that even on those hot days, we only went to setting 2. We can go all the way up to 5 for coldest. On setting 2, it kept our refrigerator at a nice consistent temperature, as well as kept our freezer with stuff frozen. Another thing that we noticed that was a plus was in the freezer itself. Since this is not a frost-free or automatic defrosting freezer, we have to defrost it ourselves. It did not build up nowhere near as much ice as it normally would. As a matter of fact, we did not de-ice the freezer for 7 months, and it ran consistently either on gas or on electric. It didn't matter. Either one, the refrigerator stayed at a good constant temperature, and we were super stoked with that. Made us feel better about having meats and dairy products and stuff in the refrigerator, as well as having frozen fish and things of that nature in the freezer. So this is really just an update video to let you know what our end result of this product was. It's a Camco solar powered refrigerator fan. I'll drop a link down in the description. I'll also put a link to that original video where we did the install so you can refer back to it. And guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. We're trying to gain subscribers as much as we can, so if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button for us. We appreciate you tuning in. Give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down. Questions or comments, drop them down below. We appreciate the feedback. And guys, stick with us. We're going to be coming to you with more.